Okay, madam, you can start now, madam.
Yeah. So you have the syllabus with you, right? For
Yeah.
fourth semester. Okay. So
Yes,
have
this
you?
is correct. Unit 1 is correct. Correct.
Yeah. So
Unit
have
1,
you
that
gone
is correct.
through the
Okay.
syllabus or like classes started or something in your college?
Hmm. No. Yet no, not started any online class.
Okay, classes not started. All right. So see, like we have five different units, and in the syllabus, if you see, right, topics are being given. Like for unit one, these are the
Hmm.
topics which are being mentioned in the syllabus. But again, if you see some previous year
Hmm.
question papers, you will know that it's not just that they are giving questions from these topics, but inside these topics, right, there are some different concepts from where also questions are being asked. So it's very important that we also know what are the other different concepts that we need to study under each of these different things. Like if you see that, okay, fine, they are mentioning nature, definition, origin and basis of international law. So you cannot just prepare that much only for the exam and then go to appear the exam, right? Because they may ask you some other related topics, some other related theories from these parts, okay? And when you are preparing for definitions, take for example, you need to know how many definitions do you need to prepare, right? Because if you open a book, there would be like plenty of definitions given. Some 10, 12 definitions will be given, but you cannot remember all of them, because for definitions, what happens, right? Whatever a certain person has said, you need to remember the exact words. In quotation, you need to write the entire thing in the same way. So it becomes very important to know the right way to prepare for exam, how much we should study and what all we should study and what we can skip. Okay, so it's obviously important that we have an idea with regard to the syllabus, but apart from that, we need to see some question papers also and try to write down the other topics, other concepts from where questions are being asked, or the topics from where repeated questions are there. For international law, if you see like unit 1, there are questions which are being repeated with regard to like definition. They may ask you define international law, and along with that there will be some other question, like another question will be joined in with that only, right? So it's very important that we see some question papers also and try to figure out the concepts or areas that we need to study under each of the different topics. So this is what we have in the syllabus. Then these are the things that we need to study. Take for example, you are studying like relationship between municipal and international law. We may just tend to study the relation, but then there are these different theories based on which there were questions like write a short note on any of these theory, or what are the theories with regard to relationship between municipal and international law, right? So it becomes very important that we have an understanding on the previous year question papers, and then we start like preparing for exams. So take for example, there is subjects of international law. There also we have different types of theories. Then another very common question is whether international law is a law in a proper sense or not. That also is a very common question, but again, it's not part of the syllabus, right? In syllabus, it's not mentioned whether international law is a law or not. But again, it's a repeated question. It's being asked for many times also. So it's important that we have an understanding on all these different concepts. Then we have all these questions which were framed from unit 1 in last like 4 or 5 year question papers I saw. And these are the questions basically from unit 1 which we need to prepare. All right. Now, these are some questions which we have from unit 1, and I will be providing you answers for all of these questions. Okay. First, we have is explain the various sources of international law, discuss the operation of international law within the British, explain the theories relating to relationship between international law and municipal law. We have some 5 theories for which I have prepared notes, and I will be providing you with that. International law is a harmonious blend of customary as well as treaty law. You need to discuss and comment on this particular statement given. What are the sources of international law? Explain treaty as a source of international law. So you need to touch upon all the different sources, and with regard to treaty, you need to elaborate it a bit more. Examine how far individuals and international organizations are subject to international law. Is international law a true law? Discuss. So this is a question which we have already discussed. Discuss, briefly explain the origin and development of international law. Examine the theories as to relationship between international law and state law, or it is also called as municipal law. So we have few theories that we discussed a few minutes back, right? That part you can elaborate over here in this question. Who are the subjects of international law? Explain. This also we have already discussed, and I am sure you will be able to answer for this question as well, right? Discuss the operation of international law within the British municipal sphere. Define international law. What are the basis of international law? So in case there is a question with regard to define international law, you can accordingly give some 2-3 definitions. 2-3 definitions for this part, okay? What are the subjects of international law? Explain. This also we discussed few minutes back. Write a short note on. So these are nothing but short note questions where you have basis of international law, weakness of international law, monistic theory, treaties as a source of international law, monism and dualism, is international law a true law? This was a question also, and for short note also this question has come, and in fact it was repeated few times. I have not repeated the same questions here for obvious reasons, but yeah, this question was repeated. All right. International custom, weakness of international law, and monistic theory. So this again is being repeated. I'm removing it, but otherwise these are the questions which we have from unit 1, and we have discussed all of these, right? So I'm sure you will be able to answer for all of these questions from the notes that I have already provided you. All right, so we'll end this class here then.